Devam Kangshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna Vasudev, son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demon Kamsa and Chanura, the darling of the mother Devaki, the guru of the all and the Lord of the universe. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are reading today chapter 10 of book number 1. We're starting here. Last time we read, this is the Krishna, the war, the Kurukshetra war is over now, the fight between the two cousins, and now Sri Krishna finishing his all this work is going back to his own kingdom. And that time everyone is very sad because the Lord is leaving them, God of the universe. They could understand. They are great people who could understand the greatness of Bhagavan Krishna. That's why they went to Bhishma, and then Bhishma, the grandsire, he asked some praise. He praised Bhagavan Krishna in his highest esteem. And then Krishna again is starting to go back, and that here the scene is described beautifully by Bhagavan Vyasa. Vyasa also had the praise, and now we see what Krishna's leaving after the Mahabharata war. Sri Krishna is going back to his kingdom. So we read there, that is the chapter 10 starts. Saunaka Uvacha. Question: how did Yudhisthira, the greatest among the righteous, engage himself in the administration of the land along with his brothers after he had destroyed the envious Suryodhana who waged war to usurp his kingdom? So this is the question, is placed before Saunaka, asked Parikshit, the king Parikshit. Now Parikshit asked that, Parikshit asking the son of Vyasa, Sukadev, that is the Saunaka is reporting that. The Saunaka asking, and then Suta, the narrator, is responding. So question is that, how did Yudhisthira, who is Yudhisthira? Yudhisthira is the elder brother of the 5 Pandavas. Duryodhana, I said Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, and their elder brother is Yudhisthira. So Yudhisthira, the greatest amongst the righteous person, he is recognized as the greatest person who values righteousness, and for truthfulness he dedicated everything for that. The greatest among the righteous, he engaged himself in administration because he was a righteous person, pious person. So how he administered his kingdom, it was a huge kingdom of all India. And that time India was extended up to Kabul, Kandahar, Afghan, all those areas, it was included. It's a huge emperor. So what was the condition of Yudhisthira's administration? And after he had destroyed, when there is no evil from the society, that Duryodhana and the 100 brothers who were greedy, who were unrighteously occupying the country and mistreating the holy people. So that was the question now. Then the Sutta, the narrator, is explaining. Verse number 2 on page 44, bottom, left hand. So Hari, the protector of the world, by resuscitation, the life of the Parikshit in his mother's womb, saved from extinction the clan of the Kurus that was destroyed by the forest fire of fratricidal war. In brotherly war, that has killed the whole of India, no? All the warriors in both sides. So they are also there is no descendant of in the king, in the lineage of Arjuna and others. Only Parikshit is the only one, and he was also going to be killed by Krishna, protected it by exercising his special power. So Parikshit was protected in the womb of mother, in his mother's womb. That was saved, and that saved the extinction of the clan of the Kurus. He was then pleased to install Yudhisthira, then Bhagavan Krishna then installed Yudhisthira in his kingdom, formerly usurped by his cousins. Now Yudhisthira's mind was freed from all confusion as wisdom dawned on him through the advice of Krishna as well as Bhishma. So listening to the advice of Krishna, listening to advice of the grandsire Bhishma and Krishna both, his mind was very clean, and Duryodhana, all the name I am confusing, and Yudhisthira is a holy person, truthful person, honest, and man of character and dedication. So he ruled the country. And how it happened? His mind, the king, he is the king, but his mind was resigned to Krishna. That is the way of living the life. We live in the world, but we don't surrender ourselves to God. Difference between ordinary people and spiritual people is that ordinary people also do the work, spiritual person also does the work. Ordinary people take the credit, I did so much, I am such and such. And holy people will give all glory to God. And everything, every moment they will surrender at the feet of the Lord. So that's why that was the speciality of holy people. That's why the mind was totally absorbed in Krishna, the Lord, and assisted by his brothers, four other brothers. What? Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, etc. Four brothers. Began to rule his kingdom, extending to the limits of the sea and ocean. As Indra rules over the heaven. Indra is the god of heaven. As he rules without any obstacle, there is no competitor there. So here also Yudhisthira, free from all competing warriors, Yudhisthira is ruling the country, whole of India, up to the sea, the ocean, no? That means last part of India, you go anywhere, it is all three sides are all sea, ocean. During his rule means Yudhisthira's rule, the clouds rained according to need, meaning most auspicious time. What does it mean? The cloud rains according to need. That means when it is needed, it rains. It does not flood. That is, it does not create flood. Or it does not create drought. Understand? That is the idea. The clouds rain according to need. The earth became fertile and high yielding. All the crops are coming out wonderfully. Fruits and flowers. And the animals, the cows with swelling udder, bathed the shades of the flowing milk. That means profuse eatable things, milk, pure milk available. Rivers, seas, mountains, trees, herbs, and cultivated crops all become fruitful according to season. That means everything coming in proper season, the country is prosperous. Nature is also helping to prosper because the righteousness has started. It is when the king become good, the subjects become also very happy. Prosperity comes, honesty comes, sincerity comes, joy comes. If the king is polluted or evil-minded, the whole subjects, they suffer. But this is the wonderful time because Yudhisthira, the righteous king, is now ruling the country. During the rule of Yudhisthira, his subjects were free from worries and disease. That means perfect health care, perfect system of food distribution, like that ideal condition was prevailed, as also from troubles. The subjects were free from worries, free from disease, free from troubles caused by super mundane causes. Natural cause or what we call incidental causes. The society became very joyful, cheerful because of the presence of this type of wonderful king. 7 and 8 verse. After having stayed in Hastinapur, that means that palace kingdom of what is called Yudhisthira, for some months, he stayed back for a few months to console his friends and satisfy his sister Subhadra, the wife of Arjuna. He bade farewell to Yudhisthira. Now after staying in the kingdom and setting Yudhisthira in his throne, and Bhagavan Krishna stayed with them for some months, and then he ultimately wanted to bid farewell. Farewell to Yudhisthira, and received his permission to depart after mutual veneration and embraces. He then got into his chariot. Krishna entered into his chariot. In those days, chariots, ours are cars, ours are helicopters, special plane. So they had some such special vehicles to run. So Krishna entered into the chariot to go to his city, Dwarka. And now it is found that Dwarka was so much prosperous during the time of Krishna. In the historical, there, what you call, the excavation has been done by the marine people under the sea, and they found a town with perfect system of drainage system, buildings, and most modern town. So it was called the Krishna's kingdom of Dwarka. It was impossible for all the residents of the palace, both men and women, such as Subhadra, Panchali, Kunti, these are all the family members of the royal family. Everyone were very much upset because the Krishna, the beloved, the Lord himself is leaving them. And even to think of separation from Sri Krishna without feeling shocked and bewildered, the thought they felt, they felt the shock. How can they live without such benign, great spirituality? 11th verse on page 45. Spiritual aspirants who have their evil tendencies effaced by holy contact never stop reciting the Lord's excellences, having listened to them but once. How then can the sons of Pandu stand separation from the very Lord with whom they have been living in utmost intimacy, always seeing him, touching him, conversing him, and sleeping with him? When Krishna was there, he was living with his family like a friend. He was the friend of Arjuna. Krishna was the friend of Arjuna, and Krishna was the Lord of the universe. So the question is that even holy people, those who meditate on the Lord, they get a little touch in meditation. And when that meditation mood goes and they can't meditate, they feel not happy. And think of these people, this whole family members with whom God of the universe, Lord of the universe, Bhagavan Krishna, walked with them, slept with them, talked with them in their difficulties and their suffering, stood behind them. How they can allow Krishna to leave? Their heart was breaking. So Sri Krishna, that's why they are very much by all our tendencies, evil tendencies, effaced by holy contact. They don't remember, they can't stay without thinking of God all the time. So what the question of this Pandu, this Yudhisthira and others, and all the royal ladies who got the blessings of Bhagavan Krishna, how they can forget him? So they are very much upset. Bound as they were to Krishna with cord of love, their thoughts were directed to him and their eyes were fixed, unwinking on him while they moved here and there about him. No? Because they used to see Krishna now and then. He is here, he is there. So seeing God walking around you all the time, and now that physical presence of Bhagavan Krishna will be absent now, how they can tolerate? So it is a pain, it is a severe pain for them. Royal kinswoman, whose intense sorrow at his departure brought tears into their eyes. They were weeping, sobbing. Somehow they restrained its flow, thinking that such an inauspicious sign like weeping should not occur while Sri Krishna was starting to go home. So, with the soft drum, beating of the drums, kettle drums, conch, veena, instrument, flute, pipes and trumpets, bells, high-sounding battle drums, and host of such other musical and percussions, instruments now sounded, announcing the departure of Krishna. It's a very poetic description. This is written by Vyasa, the greatest poet. So that's why it is so beautiful to read. You just mentally can imagine that Krishna is going to go away. Then all the people around in the palace all came down, and the royal ladies, they will never be able to see him again. So they are in tears and spiritual atmosphere. All the brothers, they are also sad because the Lord is leaving them their physical presence. And that's why now he moved, and this beating of the kettles, beenas, flutes, all the instruments, giving him bye. The women of the Kurus, in their eagerness to see him, stood on the terrace of the buildings and began to shower flowers on Krishna. As it happens, no? There are flowers being thrown from the roof where the path Krishna is moving, and looks mingled with love and shyness. Arjuna held over his beloved friend the white imperial umbrella. Imagine Arjuna is holding an umbrella on the head of Bhagavan Krishna, and that umbrella is decorated with pearl garlands and having diamond-studded handle. Uddhava and Satyaki wave beautiful bunches of chauri hair from both sides of the Lord. That means we do the chamar in the arati time, the fanning. So Uddhava and Satyaki, these two, they are fanning him from both sides. Who amidst of all this and showers of flowers falling from above shone in the street through which he passed. So he was gradually going, and people of the whole country or the city, they are transfixed in the Krishna's divine form, and they are throwing flowers, they are shedding tears, and Arjuna holding the umbrella, and the others are fanning him. This is the beautiful scene to imagine how Krishna is living. Again and again were heard the words of blessings pronounced by the Brahmins. The Brahmins are chanting mantras, Vedic mantras. They are chanting, pronouncing the blessings and Shanti, 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 like this type of mantras. What chanting? May you be happy, or may you be long-lived, words inappropriate to the Absolute, but appropriate to the Incarnation as man. Here is a philosophy coming in. And I said, this book is so filled with philosophy and also story, as if they are talking, giving us a picture that Krishna is living and Brahmins are chanting, the others are shedding tears. It's a very common sin. If you love someone as living you, you'll feel that type of pains and agonies. But same time she said, the Brahmins are chanting. But chanting, how can you chant? God is infinite. No chant can go there. It is beyond speech, beyond time, beyond space, beyond causation. But when He takes a human form by Maya, as we are under the spell of Maya, God has accepted His own Maya. He is the boss of the Maya. But with that Maya power, He becomes like a human being, like Christ, like Buddha, like Rama, like Krishna. This is the Krishna story. So that's why the last line, though, is very simple line, but it's very profound. May you be happy, may you be long-lived. How can you say, may you be happy? He is God Himself. He is always happy. Happiness is His. May you be happy, may you be long-lived. God remembers all the time. Eternal, beginningless, endless, beyond time. So how do you say, live for a long time, live 100 years? These words don't carry any sense. Well, yes, it does not carry any sense when you think Him to be the absolute God, Brahman, or Atman. But when you think that He is incarnated as a human being, yes, He has His birth, He has His childhood, He has His youth, He has His kingship, He has His message for the world. All these happen in that sense. That's why He says, words inappropriate to the Absolute. You cannot say, God, you live long. God is all the time. Rather, man can be blessed with prayer, that you live long, you be happy. Yeah. But happiness is He. You cannot pray happiness for Him. But that is, though that is the truth, yet this type of words are coming because it is incarnation of as a man. Christ, when He came as a man, yes, He is to be adored. He is to be worshipped. But you cannot say, oh, Christ live long in your body. No, He is incarnated. So that's why we can say, yes, your health be, you will long live, long live, long live, long live. Now, these women who are crying and sobbing, the ladies of Hastinapur, verse number 20 on page 45 bottom. The ladies of Hastinapur, the capital of the Kurus, whose minds were powerfully attracted to Krishna, began to chat as follows among themselves in sweet tone. So what they chatted? That means they are talking about Krishna, Krishna's presence, Krishna's glory. It says, it is certain that He, Sri Krishna, is the eternal and supreme being, who existed alone as pure spirit without differentiation. When all beings and material evolutes were in a state of dissolution in Him before creation, and in the cosmic night succeeding dissolution, where the power of nature were asleep in Him. They are talking, they are ordinary ladies, but see their profound knowledge about Vedanta. They are saying What they are saying, these ordinary ladies of the palace, they are talking among themselves. We know, it is certain. It is certain that Krishna, the Lord, is eternal. It is all the time there, eternal. It is a supreme being. There is nothing higher than Krishna. Alone, he is all the time. And he is pure in spirit, absolutely stainless, without any differentiation. When all beings and material evolute, were in a state of dissolution in him, everything was merged. Hindu idea of creation is that it is evolution and involution. Evolution and involution. It is not one-time creation. That is not the theory of the Hindu thought. Hindu thought is that creation is going on every time, and when it dissolves, it is withdrawn in God, and it comes out of God. Like you look at the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean may be perfectly calm at certain point of time, and sometimes it's all waves and ripples and bubbles and foams, millions, billions, trillions come. So it comes and it goes back, again comes, again goes back. The ocean is like, God is like infinite ocean, from which the creation comes, sustains, and again comes back. So the ladies are talking about that supreme being. Krishna is not a man, but that supreme being who alone exists as pure spirit, without any differentiation. When all beings and materials, they come, evolute, were in a state of dissolution in him before creation, and in the cosmic night succeeding dissolution, when all powers of nature were asleep, then the whole creation was in him. That time he was there alone. Again when it comes out of him, the whole creation has come, infinite number of living beings. 22 verse. He, the revealer of the Vedas, afterwards assumed his prakriti, or inherent power, which causes self-forgetfulness to the jivas, and which creates name and form in the nameless and formless Atman. Baba. See, it is Vedanta, high Vedanta. A total Vedanta class can be taken on this topic. But that is the excellence of their intelligence, of the ladies. Even see how spiritually advanced these people were there. They can reconcile the God, the Absolute, and God in the form. And he said it is the all human form. The revealer of the Vedas. Who is the revealer of the Vedas? God is the revealer of the Vedas. After assuming the prakriti or inherent power, which causes self-forgetfulness, it's Maya. When you veil of Maya, God casts the Maya net. Everyone forgets their own nature. It's not fun. He himself covers and then manifests in a name and different name and form. Ocean, only one ocean. How many waves? How many ripples? How many bubbles? How many foams? Limitless. Is it something other than the ocean? No, it is the same ocean. How it happened? By Maya. Maya means here by breeze of the wind, and here you can compare, that is the power of the Lord. By his Maya, he appears many, which creates name and form in the nameless and formless ocean of Atman. This Krishna is the goal which sages who are masters of their senses and vital breaths seek and realize with minds purified by the intensity of their God love. So this is Krishna. Krishna is the Absolute. That's why we say Ramakrishna. Don't look at him as a man. Christ, don't look at him as a man. Though in the human body, he carries the power of his it's called the Father in the heaven, no? So in Sanskrit we say it is the same power. By his veiling power, he puts a veil, and with the veiling power he creates this universe. No, we give the example. You go to the movie hall and you want to see some movie. What do you see? Before you go, you see your friends and everybody in the world. That's the reality. And what happens? Then switch off. That means the veil. Veil of what? Darkness. Veil of ignorance. It is God's power. And you put it, and then projection comes on the white screen. And we are intrigued into all the projections and thinking them real. We cry and weep in that movie hall. We pay money to get enjoyment, but we get enjoyed. We start crying, we start sobbing, we start happy, unhappy. All these emotions are coming. So, which is not real, it appears to be real. But done by whom? Here are different operators, but in this world of creation, it is God. God alone does this play by His own inscrutable power, which is called Maya, or Prakriti here they have. So, Krishna is the goal of all the sages. Because why? All the sages are meditating and praying to have a revelation, vision of Bhagavan. What the master, these sages, who are they? They are not ordinary people like us. They are the master of their senses. They have mastery over their eyes, all the five senses, eyes, ear, nose, bak, no, chakshu, karna, nasika, jivha, tak, everywhere. They have full self-control. They are not run by their emotions, the sages. With their pure heart, they are thinking of God only, this God, who is one and absolute, by His inscrutable Maya, manifests as this wonderful universe. And these sages are masters of their senses, master of their vital breath, pranayama. They have the full control of their prana force, pranic force. Seek and realize God. How? With minds purified. They purify their mind every day by thinking of God, by loving God. So these sages, holy people, they meditate on Krishna. How they go and why we cannot go to meditate like them? Because our mind is impure. And because our senses are not controlled. We have no control over pranic energy. Mind is impure, pure, not purified. There is no thing except such devotion that can purify the mind. So here is giving, who are talking this? All the women, ladies who saw Krishna so many days, so many years, and now by their seeing holiness, their mind become holy. And they are saying all these high spiritual Vedantic talks. And there is nothing except such devotion that can purify. We want to be purified. There is nothing other than thinking of God day and night, thinking of His divine sport, taking the name, repeating the mantra, meditation, that will purify the mind. O companions means he's talking to one sister, talking to the other sister. It is Krishna only who is discussed and glorified by the insightful scholars in the Vedas. All the Vedas, they are talking about what? All the scriptures of the world are talking about what? God. And that God is Krishna. That God is Rama. Here is the uniqueness of Indian spiritual thoughts. All these things we worship, Rama, Krishna, Kali, Durga, Shiva, Ganesha, these are all manifestations of the one absolute. So through any channel you can reach the same absolute truth. But you cannot in one jump run into the absolute. If you go to the ocean, there are waves. You have to just enter into the ocean, means you are entering into the wave, and then dive deep, go down, and then you can reach the real ocean. Otherwise it is surface waves. So, companions, it is Krishna only who is discussed and glorified by the insightful scholars. Those whose mind is withdrawn, this type of people, they can worship God. Others don't find any interest. They have so many subjects in the world to focus. And in the esoteric works called the Tantras, that means it is in the Vedas, in the Tantras, it is they all think about Krishna or any other form of the deity. Here we are focused on Krishna. That's why we are referring the name of Krishna. The substance of their teaching is that He, the one Lord, creates, preserves, and dissolves as a sport with Himself, but is not in any way affected by the sportive actions. They say, fine, because He is alone, He makes Him appear million. That's the Maya, power of Maya. And He is a sport. That's why, according to Bhakti school, that's the difference between Vedanta and Bhakti school. Vedanta says ultimate truth is absolute one. There is no two pennies. What you see, it is all your mental projection to get out of the mind. But Bhakta says, I am within the mind, but I see this world. How shall I see? It is God's play. God is playing in every form, in the form of a tree, in the form of a plant, in every form of a wave, bubble, ripple. Is it not water? Is it not ocean? Bhakta wants to see that way. God is playing. All this is going on, God's play. So that is the attitude of the bhaktas. That's why these holy ladies, they are saying that the substance of their teaching is that He, the one Lord, He creates, preserves, and dissolves. The whole creation comes, existence is here, it dissolves. For us it is a big thing. For God it is nothing. How many stars are going into the black hole? For us, oh my God, what has happened here? Little fire has happened, 10 houses are burned, or 20,000 these things have been destroyed. For God, it is not a sport. In the ocean, look at the surface of the Pacific Ocean, how many millions and billions and trillions of waves are coming up, standing, dancing, fighting with each other, embracing with love, dissolving into the ocean. Is it not? So it's all fun. Water is playing with water. One wave is playing with another wave. So it is all God's play going on. That is the attitude. And dissolves as sport with Himself, but is not in any way affected by these sportive actions. We are always affected. You tell me something, I will be angry. You say sweetly, I will be happy. So these are human. But God does not get affected, because you notice I am playing with myself. Suppose you stand before the mirror and you make different gestures and postures. Frowning posture, sweet posture, smiling posture. Will you get frightened? It is all fun. You are playing fun with yourself. Similarly, God is playing this fun. It's God's fun is going on. Nothing to be attached, affected by that. It's for fun. It's child's play. Child plays, you go to the beach, you find how the children prepare their castle, sand castle, how seriously they prepare. But when mommy calls, let's go home, and the children throw away all these things and come away. No attachment. So these holy people are like that. When the rulers of the earth become slave of dark passions and begin to live on unrighteousness, then in every age this Krishna comes to protect the world, assuming forms of pure sattva and manifesting such excellence as truth, righteousness, mercy, and a lasting fame in the world. See what Gita says, what I read in the Bhagavad Gita or other scriptures. The same thing, the ladies are talking about the same way. It is not Bhagavan Krishna saying. It is not any sage and saint saying. It is the ladies of the palace. They are talking to themselves. They are saying, when the rulers of the earth, kings of the country, become slaves of dark passion. You see, wherever there is downfall, see, of the kings, the society suffers so much. Because he is unrighteous. His methods will be unrighteous method. He will not think for the proper good of the subjects. He will do whatever his whims, his personal ego. So, when the rulers of the earth become slave of dark passions and begin to live an unrighteousness, false words, false promises, and like that. Today, society, everywhere you go, to all the different countries of the world, how the kings, today there is no king, but king position is what? Position of the president. There is a king, he is the king. So their decision, their righteous decision, their correct love for the country, their well-wisher thing for the masses, when those are gone, then in that situation, in every age, this Sri Krishna, here is the one, this Sri Krishna, this God, comes and protects the world. That's why Hindus say, Shambhavami Juge Juge in Bhagavad Gita. I shall incarnate myself again and again. That's why Hindus believe Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, Sankaras, all these extraordinary people, avatars, is the same person who comes again and again in different costume, in different countries, in different conditions, to help the humanity, to restore them from their evil tendencies. Assuming forms, they take the form. What form? Pure Sattva form, like Krishna, like Rama, like Christ. There is no selfishness. There is no impurity in their heart. Only love, only purity, only unconditional grace and protection. They come with this Sattika quality. They are called Sattika. Sattika means pure character. And manifesting such excellences, and they in their life, through their life, they manifest excellences. What are the excellences? Truthfulness, righteousness, mercy, and they manifest lasting fame in the world. Lasting fame, why? How many people have come and gone? Why lasting fame? Who has forgotten Christ? 2000 years passed. But people still remember Christ. Lasting fame. Rama came. I do not know historically how many thousands of years passed now. You go whole of India and Java, Sumatra, Borneo, you see Rama, 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 Rama. Krishna is whole flooded all over India, and of course outside world also is impact. So their impact is not reducing, rather it is increasing, because the God Himself came. That is the difference between big kings, people remember few years, big warriors, they will be remembered in the history, but it will fade away. But the impact of these holy people, when God comes Himself, their glory will remain continued. Glorious indeed is the line of Jodu. Glorious too is the Madhu forest of Braja. For these have been sanctified by Krishna, first by His birth in it, and next by the impressions of His feet on its surface as He walked about there. These are all devotional aspects, no? Bhagavan walked in this ground. What a fortunate ground is this. You go there and people do that. They go to holy place where they think Krishna was walking in this ground. They go and roll down in the ground to feel that their body will be purified with the touch, because this ground, this earth is touched by God. So, so in the forest of Braja, Brajadham, from this being sanctified by Krishna, because he was born first, and next by the impression of his feet, walking on this surface as he walked about there. O wonder of wonders, O Krishna, the city of Dwarka, surpassing the sphere of heaven even, has come to have the fame of being a holy region for the whole world. For it is here alone that the citizens see daily the face of Krishna, the Lord of their hearts, casting his merciful glances, beautified by his comely smile. So he's saying, oh, city of Dwarka. Dwarka is the kingdom of Krishna. So he's going back to his kingdom. So he's saying, what fortunate are the people of Dwarka. They will have the good luck of seeing the Lord Krishna every day when he will give his darshan. By seeing God every day is a matter of joke. So how fortunate is that city? How fortunate is those people? O companion, O friend, talking to the other ladies, these women whose hands Krishna held in wedlock must certainly have worshipped the Lord in their past births through austerities and sacrifices. For the nectar of his lips, for which the Gopika of Braja longed and pined, is drunk again and again by these wives of Krishna. Those women, like Rukmini and others, the mothers of Pradyumna, Sama, Samba, Amba, etc., whom he took by force, paying the bright money of heroism with which he smashed the resistance offered by the heroic kings headed by Sisupala, the ruler of Chedi, as also those other women whom he took over in the hundreds after the destruction of Naraka, the son of Bhu. All these have indeed ridden womanhood of its disrepute for impurity and unfitness for freedom. For in this their home did the lotus-eyed Krishna, their husband, always stay, enhancing their joy with his conversation. He is giving some historic story that Krishna killed many kings who were unrighteous kings. And those names have been, Sisupal is one, the king of the Chedi kingdom, he was, and others, and then rescued these queens and in the palace and give them shelter, protection. So he's saying they are fortunate. They got the protection of Krishna. They will be fortunate to see Krishna. And we will be deprived. We will not be able to see anymore because he is going from our place to Dwarka. So these ladies are saying what fortune they have. They have done good karma of their past life. They have certainly did prayed and meditated and purified their heart. That's why they are getting this opportunity to get him among themselves. Verse 31 on page 47, bottom. Sri Krishna passed along the street, acknowledging the compliments of the city women by his smiling look. And Krishna going, as you see in the Krishna film, if you watch the Krishna film, you'll see he's always calm. He is undisturbed, always peaceful, always joyful. So Krishna should have cried here, no? Because these people loved him so much. He was emotionally choked. But no, he has this perfect balance. He is equal to all. So it's a big smile with his all gentleness. He is looking at everyone and asking farewell from them. Yudhisthira, the one without any enemy, sent a strong contingent of his army as bodyguard for Krishna, though he needed no protection from anyone. So Krishna is going, so Yudhisthira is the king of this country, Hastinapur. He gave an army to protect, to carry the chariot of Krishna is going, and to protect that, lest anyone don't. But he does not need anyone's help. That's the point he said. He does not need anyone's help. God, who needs? God does not need anyone's help. But in a material way, as he is a human being, so as a friend, the Yudhisthira is sending an army of military people, contingent of army as bodyguards. The Pandava brothers, who out of love and sorrow of impending separation accompanied the departing Krishna for a long distance, were somehow persuaded to go back to Krishna, by Krishna, who now proceeded to his own city Dwarka with his dear ministers like Uddhava. All the 5 brothers, as it happens, we want to see of somebody, what do? We go up to car, no? Or we go up to plane. We used to go. Nowadays, they don't allow. That's why no one goes to see up in the plane, in the airport. But previously, last about 90s, and when we used to go to the gate. You want to see up somebody, take his baggage and things and then go. And your friend is entering into the plane itself inside, you stand outside, bye there. So, but nowadays, you just go and drop in the airport. Or you go to the counter, after that you can stay. And when he's in the security line, gone. So, these Pandava brothers, they love Krishna so much, they was going with him as much as they can go. And Krishna is saying, now, brother, you go back, go to your own kingdom. I am now, it's a long journey, so I am going, so you please. So, persuaded by Krishna again and again, now proceed that I am going to my Dwarka, which is my command, my that is the duty is called. I am God, but I am called by duty. So I have finished your duty here, now I am going back to Dwarka. 34 and 35. He passed through the land of Gurus, the jungles, the Panchalas and other areas, region of the Jamuna. Then Brahmavata, Kurukshetra, these are the different names of the Matsya country, Saraswat region, intervening deserts, Saubira, Avira lands, and this the region of Anarthas, where his horses were found a bit tired. So he went on one country after another country by the chariot and the horse-driven chariot. So chariot became tired, so he went and stopped there for giving little rest to the chariot, the horses. Receiving from place to place the pious offerings of devoted men, he at last reached the western region, even as the sun too was setting in the west. So he went and ultimately he reached his own kingdom, the capital of the kingdom, that is called Dwarka, in the western region of India. So here ends this 10th chapter. We'll start next day that Krishna arrived and how he was received and how he was received by the devotees of Dwarka. As these people were crying and they are very happy, they got Krishna back to their home, so they are welcoming. That part we'll read next day, chapter 1, book 1, chapter 11, from verse number 1. So now I end here this reading, and next question, if any question. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So now some questions. What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? It is many times it is said. Simply Ramakrishna said it is called detachment. Do your duty, live in the world, be detached. That is the point. We never know how to detach. We know only to attach. We do something, we love someone, we get attached. But Krishna says, don't attach, but detach. Love everyone. But that love should not be sticky love. As we say, sticky love. Where there is stickiness, then there will be pain and suffering. But if you love for love's sake, then that is the pure. So Gita's essential teaching is Tyaga. Sri Ramakrishna says, detachment. Gita's ideal is, don't be idle. Do your duties, whatever responsibility you have in your action. Gita says, no one reaches the state of actionlessness. That is Brahman. I am Brahman. I am nobody. This is all ignorant. This is all name and form. You may say so, but you are breathing, you are eating, you are coming back to your body consciousness. So long you are in the body consciousness, do your duty. That will purify your heart. And as the mind will be purified, you will feel that I am that. That experience to bring, you have to create the ground. Without ground, you only talk about I am Brahman, I am Atman, I am the absolute prince, I am beyond mind, death, I am the witness of the... These are all good. But to understand that in depth, we need a pure heart. And that purity of the heart will come, as Gita says, karma. Do your karma, not like people who does karma and get into bondage, but do karma which will free you by thinking that you are, your body-mind is working, not you. You are consciousness, but so long you think that I am the body, you are eating. Who is eating? But Ramana says, I don't eat. You don't eat, which you don't eat and which you are eating. You are eating this I. Whenever I say I, this comes in my concept. I cannot help it. I slept. I didn't sleep. I am angry. I am happy. Who is that I? I, the Absolute, has no happiness, no hunger, no thirst, nothing. You are not in that state. To reach that state, you have to purify the heart. And what is the way up? This is also purifying. If you think day and night I am Atman, that's also purifying. But you cannot live in that consciousness day and night. You will have to eat, you will have to work, you will have to cook, you will have to go to interact with people, you will have to take care of your body, you have to sleep. So, therefore, do your work, duties, but think, I am not attached, I am Atman. This is all the play of the body and mind. I am not the body and mind. So that is the simple way we can think, that is the idea of Gita, is action without attachment, love without attachment. How we can do work without being stuck to its result and cry and weep. I get a good result, I am happy. If I don't get a result, I am crying. So, no, not that. Another question, during the time when I am learning to meditate, how do I place my tongue? During the time when I am learning to meditate, how do I place my tongue? I don't understand this question, but don't pay attention to your tongue. When you meditate, meditate on God and repeat the mantra. Let the tongue be anywhere. You can do moving your tongue. You may also, without tongue movement, you can utter the word mentally. That is much better. Suppose I say Om, and I say mentally, think that you are saying Om, without tongue movement. You can do that. So don't pay attention to the tongue, that is my idea. Rather, you can repeat the mantra, you got it for your practice, and meditate on the Lord, what your Guru has given you to think about. And tongue is mostly used in uttering the mantra properly. because in Sanskrit, a very sophisticated language, so your tongue movement is very important. There are 3 types of na, no, 2 types of na. 3 types of sa, ra. Twist your tongue to the palate, to the teeth and in between. So the tongue movement will be used for expressing some meaningful word. But repeating the mantra and thinking of God, that is important, and don't pay attention to the tongue. That's my idea. I do not know if you can elaborate the question something more, then I can think about that. Another question, how to overcome panic thoughts. Yeah, panic thought comes because it comes suddenly and we are not prepared for it. Or I got some prediction, there is a huge fire coming, and naturally we get panicked. Yes, we as human beings, it is very natural to get panicked, but how to get out of it, we will have to think this way, Vedantic thinking. What will happen? If something happens, I will have to act accordingly. If there is a fire, and then I will have to get out of the fire. I have to run away from the fire. No? If it is there, I can stay, I can protect as much, take a hose so that the fire does not affect your home. Or if the situation comes extremely bad, then what happens? Then you can just run away, taking your most valuable thing. And think, if the fire kills everything, then what shall I do? I will have to accept it. And act according. So, to give the mind to think the extreme condition, what will happen? I will die one day. If you take this ultimate stand, then you become fearless. I will die one day. If anything happens, I will fight with it and I will die. I mean, anyone will die. Can anyone stop their death? Who is living for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years? Is there anybody in the world? We say, he is 112 years. Oh my God, it becomes a news in the newspaper. 120 years, okay, then what? Then what? It will die one day. And body is dying every day. Why are you worrying about that? Do your best. Try to solve the mystery, face the challenges, and then be bold. And don't be panicked unnecessarily. Panic is a mental weakness. So spirituality teaches us, trust on your divinity inside, and then whatever happens, accept it boldly. And panic is weakness of the mind. So that any type of weakness, we will have to work with that. Acha, I will come to it. If it is all is God's fun, why do saints emphasize to be restless to realize God as if their hair is on the fire? Right, very good question. It is all fun for whom? Not for me. I am body bound. When I will be pure, I will understand it is all fun. To understand it is God is playing in every form, not now. I am very much limited with my emotions, our body identity, our suffering, our pain, our anguish, our fear, because I am not knowing that I am infinite. When I know that, then what is this world? This world is the one playing in so many forms. That will come, but not for me. That's why it is, if you say it is God's fun, then you have to say you are nobody. It is God is fun, playing in so many forms, okay? It is God. God will understand its problem. Why you are coming in between? We are bringing ourselves in, our little ego. We have two egos, no? One this small ego, another is the big ego. Big ego is God's ego. And small ego is that I, with my body-mind identity, with my suffering, with my pain, with my pleasure, with my feeling of joy, frustration. So that is I. So we'll have to get out of that. And how to get out? you become pure. How to be pure? By practice of meditation, practice of prayer, practice of selfless work, service to others, thinking that I am serving God. All these noble ideas, you have to work. Unless that maturity comes, whenever I say I, you will think of the body. Either you will think of the body, or I am very sad. Where are you sad? Are you sad in your finger? You are sad in your mind. So long you are in the mind, you will feel the sadness. When you say, I am not the mind, then you are free. So how to reach that flight? That's why practice is necessary. Another question, can we drink coffee before or after meditation? That's a good question. Yes, it is your habit. Whatever gives you little energy to do meditation, take that minor help, it matters little. In Vedanta, we don't pay emphasis on whether you are fasting, whether are you becoming spiritual, that is the point. I don't care, you eat meat or you eat vegetarian. Are you making a spiritual progress? Are you feeling the presence of God in you? Whatever makes it good, go for that. And whatever takes you away from that, avoid that. So yes, some people take a cup of coffee sometimes before going to meditation, because in the morning or in the afternoon that gives them the drowsiness off. The sleep mood goes away with a cup of coffee. But some are habituated without doing that. That's okay. So these are your own choice. What is the view of fear of death according to Vedanta? Fear of death is very natural, as I said just now, discussed this point. Fear of death is imminent, because in Hindu culture we think that we have been born and dead millions and millions of times. So the fear of death has been ingrained into us. Even if you see a crawling ant moving, you try to stop it, or something obstructs and turns his face out. No. So fear of death is very spontaneous with that. It's called the reflex action, like reflex action. It has become spontaneous. But it will be gone, it will be beyond all this when one can think that I am not limited in the body. I am not finished with the body. And as I make an analysis all the time, I make this analysis all the time. Are you not dying every second? Where is your body? Which was in 1990. You have a body in 1990? No? Okay, say 2000. You have a body in 2000. Where is that body? This body is not the same body. Look at that. Your body, when in the year 2010, bring a picture, photograph, and today's photo, are the same? Your hairs are same? Your eyes are same? No, it has changed everything. Cells are same? No. So why are you not crying then? My 2010 body has gone, I am dead. Why don't you cry? Because it has taken such a change and you are seeing some other appearance. But they are dead. That all the cells and everything has been transformed into another one. Similarly, when we die, what happens? It is a transformation. But we do not know I don't see that next transformation before my consciousness. That's why we are afraid. Unknown. This body is gone. We are so ingrained in the body. Body is gone, I am gone. What happens after death? Everyone is curious about what happens after death. What happens after death? Nothing happens. You remain the same. You remain in your dream. Do you die when you are dreaming? You are free from the body. Body is lying in the bed and you are running in your dream. You are running in New York. What happens then? Your body, this body lying in the bed and you are running in New York in a street or in a, what you call, park, national park. So, this body and that body are there together, but you can separate. Sleep separates us, dream separates us. So, you can meditate and separate yourself out. And after death, we live in another body. So to think that I am not dying, I will be there. So that thought is itself good. Another question, Krishna is more engaging and appealing than other avatars. Why do you think this is the case? Krishna is more engaging means to the Krishna bhaktas, and Krishna's life has diversified aspects. He is not only mere king, he played like a darling as a child, as a baby. His plays are so sweet and so much is meditated upon them. As a youth, has so much of stories, killing this, killing that, this demon, that demon. So it is interesting in those so many ways, so that we can engage our mind in God in so many ways. How we can engage ourselves in so many ways with God, that is the purpose of life. So that's why Krishna is more engaging and more appealing, because different aspects are there. Who love aspect is there, heroic aspect is there, and renunciation aspect is there, detachment aspect is there, being in life's struggle, how he's calm and serene, war is going on, and he is undisturbed, unperturbed. So that is the point. Did Krishna die? It is my experience he did not. Yes, did Krishna die? To Krishna. The Krishna who was in the physical body, yes, he is dead. But the Krishna who is in a subtle body, he didn't die. Think of yourself. Do you die when you are sleeping in your bed and dreaming? In the dream body, you are eating good feast. There is a dream body of yours, and you can have a good feast. And the body is lying down in the bed, dead almost. As it happens, similarly, Krishna's physical body is not visible, but he lives in that body through which he comes to devotees, gives his darshan, we call vision. Christ even is still there. People have the vision of Christ. Ramakrishna had the vision of Christ. So Ramakrishna had the vision of Krishna. So they are, but in which way? Not in a physical way. If the physical, when Ramakrishna is seeing Mother Kali, I will also see Mother Kali. I don't see. No, so many people in Dakshineshwar around Ramakrishna didn't see anything. But Ramakrishna saw it is Mother Kali, living presence of Mother Kali. So it is there, but with the physical body you have died, but the subtle body, it's called the divine body, through which God is doing work for the devotees for ages together, appearing before them. Christ appeared to how many saints in the world? Buddha appeared in how many lives, how many saints like? Rama came, Krishna came, like that. Krishna, you go, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people are there. Those who dream Krishna. One of my known devotee, he was telling, Krishna came last night and she was asking for food, and I quickly got something, and then there's nothing, I feel embarrassed, and the sleep broke. So they are seeing Krishna even today. You may say it is a mental image. That image, in that way, he is eternal. That's why I called, even God's, Swami Vivekananda said, I shall cast this body off like an old, worn out garment, but I shall not cease to work. I shall inspire men everywhere. How he will inspire? His body is not there. But he says, I shall inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that he is one with God. So how he will do that? It is in the subtle body. So that's why, did Krishna die? Yes, physical body is dead. But no, that body through which God does the work of redeeming people from the problems of life, that Krishna is alive. Okay? So you have some question?
How was your afternoon?
What is your question? Already have got. Achha. Yeah, my afternoon. I do not know. Afternoon is afternoon. Afternoon, 4:30 onward, this is good class. we are thinking of Krishna, we are thinking of Vedanta. That is good in that way. Thank you. So we end here. And we'll meet you again at 7:30 in the class what is called Shanti Gita, the song of peace. We need peace, 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 peace. How to find peace in life, no? So it is advice of Krishna again. But that's very Vedantic aspect, Vedantic perspective. Thank you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.